as though Aaron Ramsdale is on his way out. It has been announced by both David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano that there is a here we go. Finally, Ramsdale has got his move. And, well, I feel we all were waiting for this to happen. It's good for all parties. It's not really Aaron Ramsdale's fault at all. I feel like he just fell out of favour, to be honest, and he can't be too disheartened either because David Raya has come in and done a really good job. But the fee, I'm not too happy with the fee, to be honest. I think it's around 18 million with about 7 million in add-ons. I don't feel like that's a good deal for Arsenal at all. But it is what it is. We're going to have to deal with it. And it seems as though we have finally gone for a new goalkeeper. Joan GARCIA is set to be signed as well from Espanyol. And I'm interested to know how much the fee for Joan GARCIA will be. Is it going to be more than Aaron Ramsdale? I don't know. Because if we're selling Aaron Ramsdale, what's the point in spending money on a goalkeeper and it being more? We've already made a loss on Ramsdale. Why would we want to sign a goalkeeper who's obviously going to be maybe more expensive? It just doesn't make sense. You're better off getting someone like Bentley or getting someone like Tickle, who is linked with us. But the whole goalkeeper situation is just a massive thing, and hopefully we get this goalkeeper situation sorted out as quickly as we can, because I don't really want to dwell on a goalkeeper. I want a winger in the club, and I'm sure a lot of you guys agree. A winger is definitely what Arsenal need. Let's not go for all of these goalkeepers, waste our time too much on the goalkeepers, because a winger, an attacker is what the Arsenal need. And that's what I think I need to talk about next. Darwin Núñez. I made a video earlier about him. Could you imagine him at Arsenal? Could you see a future with Núñez as our number 9 as a left wing? Is that a good signing? It is a really difficult situation, because if he is available, we know Mikel Arteta is a big fan of Darwin Núñez, but is he the sort of striker we should actually be going for? He's too similar, like I've said, to Havertz and Jesus, in that he's not really a prolific goal scorer. He obviously was when he was in Portugal, but at the minute in the Premier League, he's still struggling to break 10 goals a season, and that's not what we need right now. When we're going for a title, we need clinical strikers, and can Darwin Núñez be that sort of guy? I'm so unsure, but there's still a lot of this window to go, 3 days, and I think if we are able to get Joan GARCIA in, that would mean Calafiori, Garcia and Merino as the 3 signings coming in. I think that's a 6 out of 10 sort of window. I feel like that isn't good enough, to be honest. We were always needing an attacker coming into this, whether it was a winger, whether it was a striker. We 100% needed an attacker, and not to bring one in would be so disappointing, because I'm just thinking about the Champions League game against Bayern Munich. What we missed was that X-Factor attacker, and not getting someone who is an X-Factor attacker really hampers the squad, to be honest. We've got Nelson, Trossard, Jesus, Havertz, Nelson. Is that really good enough? Saka, of course, and Martinelli. Is that good enough to really go in the Champions League and go for the Premier League? I do not think so, but there's a lot to be really considering going into the window. Would you prefer a loan sort of winger signing? Would you prefer a permanent signing? But that means we can't go for the big names next summer. I'm sure Nico Williams will be available next summer, and Leao and all of these other wingers. Do we really want to splash the cash on a winger now and then miss out on those names next window? That's also what Arteta is going to want to consider, to be honest. It's all just to be talked about, all to be, discussed. What do Arsenal do? Is it a winger we go straight in for now, but risk not getting a world-class one next year? Or do we just, as I said, take a risk into this season, go into this season without signing another attacker? I think would be detrimental. But Mikel Arteta knows best. We've known him not to just sign anybody just for the sake of signing anybody. That's just not the way he rolls. But, sometimes I feel like an option now in the attack is better than no one, because I don't feel confident with the attackers that we've already got. Jesus is already injured. God forbid Havertz get injured. That's really bad. Ødegaard as well, that's another situation. If Ødegaard gets injured, we're going to have to throw Ethan Nwaneri straight into the number 8. It's a massive risk. I know he's got a lot of ability, but it says a lot that Arteta's sold Vieira, that he's willing to have, Ethan Nwaneri to play as the deputy number 8. It's a big call, because Merino obviously is going to play in the left number 8. Do we move him to the right number 8? It is a really difficult situation. But yeah, the main talking point of this stream was Aaron Ramsdale. Here we go. Out of the blue, really. I didn't think Ramsdale was going to get a move. I thought it was going to take a while. I thought, the developments, I don't know. It's just a really strange one that has happened just now, that Ramsdale is on his way to Southampton, of course. João Garcia, the keeper, coming in. That is another player I don't really know too much about, but he seems to be a quality goalkeeper from what I've heard. He seems to have a lot of plaudits from Spain, but I don't know. Welcome Rebecca Wolf to the stream. But it is all about this goalkeeper situation now. What do we do? Is it worth going in for João Garcia now and him costing more than Ramsdale? What is the point in doing that? But then again, Ramsdale's unhappy. He obviously doesn't want to stay at the club. We obviously don't want him here. Welcome, and the idea of Nunez playing on the left is growing on me. Yeah, that was also another thing about Darwin Nunez, his versatility, the fact he can play on the left as well and striker. That's really, really important. We've wanted this versatile sort of player. Nunez can play across the front three, and he scored quite a lot of goals just from cutting in, and banging one into the top corner. We need the ball striking that Nunez possesses, so I wouldn't be too against it either, to be honest, but it has to be under 50 million for me. Definitely, if it's any more than 50 million, I feel like that is a lot of money wasted on getting, just a pure winger. It's about Ramsdale's high salary. To be honest, I don't know about that. Yeah, he does make more than Raya. I do recognise that, but is he going to earn the same amount at Southampton? I would be really, really shocked if he did that, to be honest, because Southampton, I don't think, have the sort of funds to give Ramsdale £100,000 per week. He obviously signed a new deal to 2026. We've made a loss on Ramsdale. There's just a lot of things, really. It's a really interesting situation. 12 Kamura 2K34 says, we don't need Nunez. Yeah, Nunez is just one of those ones where it's a market opportunity. We need something clinical, somebody who knows how to put the ball in the back of their net if it's a striker. And of course, I see a lot of you love Victor Gyökeres. For me, I'm yet to get on the hype train of Victor Gyökeres, to be honest. I know he's a quality keeper. I know he has the experience of scoring goals, but it's all to be discussed, to be honest. It's all to be discussed if the number 9 is to be Victor Gyökeres. I don't feel like he's had enough experience in the top leagues to be that number 9. IMD, yeah, but it's more about getting him off our books. Yeah, definitely. I think Ramsdale was more about getting him off our books, to be honest. He was obviously on a lot of money, so yeah, it makes sense. If Garcia is on less money, yeah, I can see why we've done that. Nunez is a fake story. It was put on Twitter to wind up Liverpool fans. Yeah, I've seen that as well. That is very, very likely as well. But I think the fact that Arsenal have been interested in Nunez before is what makes these links sort of somewhat realistic, whether it is now that Liverpool want to sell him or not. I do know that Nunez is not particularly happy at Liverpool. He'd be open to a move, but it's way too late in the window to even be entertaining it. But as I said, Nunez is a decent player. Under Arteta, maybe he can work some magic, but it's going to be some real magic needing to be, done by Mikel Arteta to turn him into that clinical striker that we need. Dr. Vanny Music, Nunez can be something in Arsenal. I can back him up to Arsenal. Yeah, it's just one of those things, to be honest. He can either be a hit or miss sort of player. And do we want to take a risk on a hit or miss sort of player? I don't know. I don't feel like we need to do that right now. Just believe in the Havertz, believe in the Jesus. I feel like that's the best way to go. And same thing with the secret German player. Yeah, the secret German player, that was just something else. Apparently it was Leroy Sané, if you didn't know. Sané was the mystery German in the end. But apparently he got injured, so a deal couldn't be done in the end. But yeah, I didn't really believe the secret German stuff. It seemed way too scripted for it to be true. But Sané was definitely a German international we were looking to bring in after the Euros. Obviously it hasn't happened, and I don't think it will happen either. Nunez to Arsenal looks like that one on Real FC Karimo. Yeah, it does seem like that sort of Karimo signing. I don't see why Liverpool would want to sell Nunez to us. It would be quite strange. But then again, the Premier League is where the money is, and I feel like only Premier League clubs can afford to be spending a lot of money. You're seeing Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen struggling to even pay 15 million towards a player. So I feel like if teams are to sell players, they're better off, shipping them into the Premier League, because that's where they're going to get the highest transfer fee for sure. Is take him though. Nunez is, I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans saying yes, they would take him. I thought it was quite interesting, to be honest. After we've been crying out for a clinical striker, to get Nunez, it kind of contradicts what we're looking for. But that's no shade at all to Darwin Nunez. I'm sure he's just somebody that hasn't really hit it in his prime. He's still young. I feel like people still forget how young Darwin Nunez is. He's not 28, he's not 29, he's not 30. He's still got time on his side, so I don't really see why, you wouldn't want to take a punt on him, to be honest, if you are Arteta and you really are looking for that Darwin Nunez profile. Ramsdale out, Garcia in. Yeah, that was pretty much the move the whole way around. We'd already agreed personal terms with Garcia, so I expected to be very, very swift. Seems like a decent goalkeeper, like I said, but I haven't watched a lot of him. And it's all just down to the scouting. I'm sure the goalkeeper thing, for me, I'm not too bothered, I'll be honest. As a person in the goalkeeping department, I'm happy Raya's our number 1. Garcia, if you're coming in, if you're gonna push Raya, great. But I'm just really concerned. Let us bring that sort of winger in now. We can't go into this season without a winger, and it sounds crazy, but I feel like we'll struggle, to be honest, if we don't bring a winger in between now and Friday's deadline. I think Jesus will do the job. He was just injured, but seeing him in the UCL was another level. Yeah, I feel like people forget the quality of Jesus. I know he can be quite frustrating, but that first 5 months of Gabriel Jesus was something else. He was something really, really special. I loved watching Gabriel Jesus in those first, sort of months. He had all the quality, all the skill. He was scoring the goals. And I mean, even last season, in the Champions League against Bayern, he made a difference. He's the sort of player that needs rhythm, to be honest. He needs the consistency to play games to see how good he is. But yeah, I definitely would count on Jesus. Maybe an option on the wing that Arteta wants to try out. I definitely think he can play there. He likes to drift out to the wing anyway. So yeah, we've got options like that. But for me, I just want another sort of pace sort of winger to stretch the pitch. I feel like that's what we're lacking at the minute, and it just all comes down to now and Friday if we get that done. But anyway, that's it for now for the stream. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace.